All right, I'm gonna make a quick video and talk about clay basics and show you the very first technique you need to know, which is the pinch pot technique, and followed by a hollow form using 2 pinch pots. All right, first I'm gonna start off with the setup. When you're getting your table set up, if you're working as a group at your table on clay, you need 2 pin tools, 2 to 3 slips if you have a bigger table, a couple modeling tools, you need 1 spray bottle, and you need a bag of clay. Once you're set up, you want to make sure also that you have either a drop cloth or a board to work on. All right, I'm going to show you all just a few basic things. The first thing I want to show you is the pinch pot technique. You're going to take a ball of clay about the size of a tennis ball, roll it in your hand, try to make it pretty round, then use your thumb, and I have the clay in my one hand and I use my thumb and I'm just pushing it in, but don't go all the way. And then you gently pinch the side walls to make your little pot. Now clay, one big important rule is that clay cannot be thicker than your thumb. So you gotta make sure that your clay walls are not too thick. You also wanna be sure that they're not too thin so they crack. So the goal is to make it pretty even all the way around. Okay. So I'm gonna set that aside and do the same thing with this ball of clay. Ideally, the clay, the 2 pieces that you have are about the same size. So I'm gonna add a little bit more clay to this one. Okay, same thing. Now we're gonna make a hollow form. Ball the clay up. In your hand, rotate it, same thing. I'm pushing my thumb in, I'm pinching the walls. I like to try to keep it in the same hand, and my goal is to try to make it about the same as this one. Okay, this is normal, the cracks here. You can always use your slip or water to smooth those out. So this is what the slip looks like. It's just clay and water. When it runs out, just throw a chunk of clay in there, add some water, and you've got slip. Okay. Now, slipping and scoring, that's when you make little lines, that's called scoring, and then adding the slip, you gotta score on both sides to make 2 pieces attach. When the clay is really plastic or soft like this, you can actually break that rule and kind of gently put them together. And I'm going to just use my fingers and carefully smush the clay without squishing the shape all the way around. So I want you to try to make a hollow form. You don't need to score if the clay is soft enough. Okay, now I have my hollow form. It's like a ball. I can't just fire a big ball of clay. Let's say I wanted to make a basketball. I couldn't just take a chunk of clay. It has to be hollow because clay cannot be thicker than your thumb. It's called the rule of thumb. Once you have your hollow form, you can roll it, smooth out some of those lines, try to gently roll it and evenly roll it. And pretty quickly, you can get a nice looking ball of clay. Now I have to poke a hole in this because the other rule you need to know is that clay cannot have trapped air in it. So you need a little spot where the air can come out. And that hole is big enough here. Now slipping and scoring, once the clay starts to dry, you do, and you can make, like, let's say I'm making a cat head and I want to make a little ear. I'm going to do this pretty quickly. I would recommend in this scenario, especially if the clay is starting to dry over time, that you score Decide where the little ear is gonna go. You score there, add some slip, and then attach. Now it's not really well attached. You really need to go in at this point and try to smooth it on. I like to use a little tool like this. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. All right, try all these techniques. Good luck.